This past weekend was the 35th annual AIDS Walk New York. CBS 2's Dave Carlin spoke with several people who participated in the walk. All are with the GMHC, formerly known as the Gay Men's Health Crisis. And these people are on the front lines helping those who are living with HIV. They discussed HIV then and now and the progress against the disease and the stigma that still remains.
Let's begin by talking about being in this spot at this time.
So what is it like then and now? I think being on this historic street and in this area when the epidemic hit, this was about ground zero point. So it's significant for me to sit here and to talk about HIV and long-term survivors.
They were stigmatized, they were shamed, due to homophobia, transphobia. There has been some progress made, mostly in terms of HIV medications, yet we're still dealing with stigma, and we're still dealing with the other elements that block people from getting services.
Services are better. Things are a little bit better.
We're plotting points on a journey here where we can see progress, but then we keep hearing this stigma is still there.
In terms of HIV and AIDS, I think the work is never done. I was infected in 1986, which is the year that AIDS Walk began. Discovering that you're HIV positive at a very young age, because I was 14 at the time, is very traumatic. What I didn't get, I'm trying to give. I want to be that person that could steer them because I didn't have that.
My parents were very active in the civil rights movement, and so it was natural for me to understand that I have to continue to fight against social injustices. As a straight ally, I think it's so important for me to be of service, and that means to be of service to the LGBTQ plus community, to be of service to people living with and affected by HIV and AIDS.
Then versus now, are you able to put that in any kind of perspective from your own life story?
If GMHC wasn't there in 1999, I don't know where I'd be today. People still die of AIDS every year. We shouldn't be there. We should be in a better place. And that's why I want to do what I'm doing and why I'm so passionate.
What still fires you up, upsets you?
Racism, it's homophobia. What really gets me going is when I can watch or I listen to long-term survivors talk about what they went through back in the 80s and early 90s, where they were kicked out of their apartments or fired from jobs, and that sentiment still goes on today.
AIDS Walk is about remembering, it's about taking strides, and it's about transporting us to a better future, quite literally.
Yeah.
What do you think we need to do to get there?
So this year marks the 35th year of AIDS Walk New York. We're going to be virtual this year, but we can still continue building community, still raise funds for our services and programs to keep the energy going, keep the momentum going.
We're going to see a whole generation of people who are going through this again, and they shouldn't have to. We should be better than that.
AIDS Walk and the work that we do, why it's so important, is because we need to still continue to educate, and I think being visible in interviews like this help parents that are home watching this, understand maybe I should talk to my child. And this is education right here that we're doing.
As we walked through Christopher Park, I was told the toughest challenge of this past year was that the pandemic brought back a similar isolation felt during the AIDS epidemic. But then and now, support and science and love are the solutions. In Greenwich Village, Dave Carlin, CBS 2 News.
If you missed our special coverage of AIDS Walk New York live at home this past Sunday, you can catch it at cbsnewyork.com.